Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so it's Premier League predictions, Matchweek 4 tonight. So we'll go through them. And as usual in the chat, everybody can have their say on what they think the games will be when we go through each game. Roly, how are you? Joined by Roly.
I'm feeling positively Champions League, getting ready for the draw. Sunday was...
Yeah. If you do like what you see...
now.
Yeah. If you do like what you see, please do smash the like. It really does help the channel stay towards the top of the search and new viewers find the channel. If you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and be part of this great community. It is free to do so. And that bell notification lets you know when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member at 99p, just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking the $sign. So, there we go. Right. That said, let's get into some comments. And let's see what the comments are saying before we get into the action. Lawrence is first in. Evening, everyone. Good evening, Lawrence. Hope you're well. Bia says, evening, Tony and Uncle Roly. Good evening, Ian. Bia. Hope you're well. Ian Fleming says, good evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, Ian. Hope you're well, my friend. Ian says, hard choice for me tonight, Tony. Watch Rangers in the Champions League or watch your channel. Guess who won? Yes, Ian. Yes. Because, you know, Ian, come on. You know it makes sense to come and watch this channel. Absolutely, mate. And I hope you come back on it 10 tonight as well. Chelsea losing 1-0 to Wimbledon, says Lawrence. Get in. Evening all. Hope everyone is good and well. Yeah, we are, matey Mag. Thank you very much. Hope you're well too, mate. Late, Tony. Yes, I know I am. I'm very sorry about that. Evening all. Just reminder, please keep comments respectful in the chat, please. Thank you very much, Mason. Thank you. Yeah, we had a little bit of argy-bargy in the chat last night, but hopefully everything will be fine. He says on a straight ban. Ian says, hope it's quieter tonight than last night, lol. Lee says, evening, Tony, Roly, and everyone. Good evening, Lee. Well, friend. Young Chelsea team, though. Yeah. Ben says, hi, Tony and Roly. How are you? I had an amazing day yesterday at St James's Park Stadium Tour. It was amazing. I was watching the EFL Cup draw today. Yeah, the EFL Cup draw will be after the game tonight. Yes, I will be back at 10 o'clock doing the draw. So if you want to come back at 10 o'clock and watch me do it with the draw, then please do so, and we'll do it together, and we'll see who Newcastle get in the round 3. Matt says, good day, Tony, Roly and chatters. Good day to you, Matt. Hope you're well in Australia, my friend. Right, okay, so because we're going to try and keep this show to about an hour, because obviously I'm going to have a break before I come back on later for the show, for the draw. Hope we get Salford at home, says Mighty Mac. God, yeah, let's hope. Right, so anyway, Premier League is in its final weekend before it takes a break for the international games, which includes England and Scotland. Okay, so I'll come to you first, Roly. And first up is Friday Night Frightful. Yes, so Friday night, it'll be all right on the night, hopefully, for one of these two teams. Anyway, let's cut to it. It's at Kenilworth Road. It's a debut at home in the Premier League for Luton Town FC. Now, they've been chomping at the bit to play a home game. Finally, they've got one now. They take on the mighty West Ham United, who are second in the Premier League, who have been flying this season already. Roly, take it away. What's your quick thoughts and your score prediction on this game at Kenilworth Road? Considering the referee might have to go into Betty's at number 4 to rewind Sky Q and watch the replay on any VAR decisions.
I can only see one winner on it, but I think it should be an exciting game because Luton will be up for it. The crowd will be up for it. The opening Premier League game at Kenilworth. It'll be a cracking atmosphere, but I can't see anything other than the West Ham win. And a comfortable one at that. I'm going to say 3-0 to West Ham.
3-0? Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. David says, who do you fancy in the Cup and the Champions League? Cup game, I'll take anybody. To be fair, apart from obviously a Premier League team, but I'll take any team, to be fair, David. Champions League, it's a hard one. I'll have to come back beyond that one, Champions League. I don't know what time the draws. I think it's at 5 p.m. tomorrow night, isn't it?
Something like that. I don't know who's still left in. To be honest,
I'm not sure.
And I'd have liked Tranmere Rovers again, but because they're
Yeah.
local to me. But I'm not sure if they're still in it or not. I don't think.
No, I don't think they are, Roly. I think they got beat. Ronald says, sorry, everyone. Yeah, absolutely fine, Ronald. Hope you're well. Ben says West Ham 3-0. James Ward-Prowse, Kundo and Antonio. Definitely going for West Ham for this game, says Lawrence. Lee says 2-0 West Ham. Chris W says, hi, evening, gents. Going with the Luton 0, West Ham 2, or Luton can get a consolation goal. Not a bad shout, mate, yeah. 2-0 West Ham. I'm going for Luton 1, West Ham 2. I mean, look, thoughts on this game is, look, it's at Luton Town. It's a different ball game. Tiny little ground. Where you see people's knickers on the washing line as you're walking up the stairs. Just let's hope they haven't got any skid marks on them or anything like that, because that's not a very pretty sight, is it? If some man's white Y fronts have got marks on. Anyway, enough of the marks, because I get marked down by that. But anyway, pardon the pun. Anyway, Luton West Ham. It's going to be an interesting game. I think Luton are going to be up for this game at home. I think they are really going to be up for it. It was a harsh game for them at Chelsea. But West Ham, yes, we know West Ham have been flying. But it wouldn't surprise me if there was an upset in this game. It really would not surprise me. While the majority will probably say West Ham win this all day. And I would be the same, thinking West Ham win this all day. But I've just got a feeling there's going to be a sting in the tail there. And I can't decide which way I'm going to swing this, but I'll tell you how I am going to swing it. I'm going to go for a draw, and I'm going to say 1-1, because I think it will really be a tough place for West Ham to go. I really do. And as I say, a tight little ground. The fans will be up for it. Yeah, I'm going to say 1-1. I really do. I think it's 1-1 all day long. I'll just get into some comments and see what else people are saying. Ronald's going for 2-1 to West Ham. Matt's going 3-1 West Ham. Ronald says, remember that Plaka pitch? Oh, God, yeah, the plastic pitch. They had it and QPR had it as well, didn't they? And they were awful plastic pitches back then. They were terrible.
Oh, so you drop the ball from your knee and it hit you in the face.
Bia says, there will be a lot of time added on at Luton, constantly having to go around the different houses, knocking on the doors to get the ball back from the neighbours' backyards. Yeah. You need to work on your jokes, Tony, says Ian. Thanks very much, mate. Luton 1, West Ham 0, says Bia. Yeah. Bia says a sting in the tail, Tony. I had a scorpion like that. Yeah, it does. Has a sting in its tail, doesn't it? Alan says, evening, guys. Reg Champs League. Give me the easiest possible for us. Yeah, absolutely. To get out the group stage. Don't need any group of death, in my opinion. Hard enough. Absolutely. Definitely. Sefton says, hi all, I enjoyed last night's show. Watched it at 4 a.m. Probably I'd do the same on catch up late after we'd have seen all night all. Yeah, enjoy your evening at work, Sefton. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. David says, I fancy 2-2 for Luton and West Ham game. See, a draw's not a bad result, I don't think. QPR 5, the 2-5 says Ronald on their pitch. Lol. Yeah, I remember that 5-all draw. Yeah.
Oh,
God. Awful pitch that was. Wow. Right, so we're going into Saturday, and the first game is on that channel that we used to call BT Sports, but it's supposed to be very explosive because they call it TNT Sports. Not that explosive because I think the commentators are shite. Darren Fletcher, I don't rate him at all. I think he's an awful commentator. I really do. And you couldn't have worse than having Rio Ferdinand and Michael Owen in that studio as well. So anyway, the first game is 12:30 on Saturday on that channel, and it is between Sheffield United and Everton at the Steel City. So we're going down to Steel City, and do you know what? Bramall Lane, it's a tough place to go to. It can be a tough place to go to. Now, we know Everton's not in great form, and that's the thing you've got to look at, how bad Everton are at the moment. They are not the best at the minute. They've signed a new striker for 30 million quid, a player called Beto, who, ironically, we looked at last year, but his stats aren't that great. He got 10 goals in Serie A last year. So the guy's not really blessed with scoring goals. And if that's what they're paying £30 million for 10 goals a season, then I'm sorry. No wonder they're in the shit they're in with FFP, Everton. Because they're just wasting money. But yeah, I can see this being a tough game. I really can. What sort of scoreline do I think this could be? Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me to see a Sheffield United win, in all honesty. And I can see that happening. Because Everton just look woeful. They've lost every game so far this season. They just haven't looked great at all. So for me, I'm going for a Sheffield United win, and I'm going to say 2-0 Sheffield United. That's my thoughts. Now, before I come to Roly, I'm just going to pop into some comments and see what other people have got to say about this game as well. Looking at the pots, we are definitely going to Spain. Yeah. Ronald says 2-0 Sheffield United. Same as me. 2-1 Sheffield United, says Ian. 2-0 says Ben to Sheffield United. I can see Sheffield United getting their first win, says Lawrence. Absolutely, Lawrence. Hi, Tony, Roly and all. Hi, Coffee. Hope you're well, my friend. Sheffield would be right up for this 1-0, says Chris. Absolutely. Biasi is 1-0 to Sheffield United as well. Right, Roly, give me your thoughts on this.
Well, Sheffield United.
I know it's an easy prediction for you, Roly. I know that. I know what your prediction's going to be.
Sheffield United.
Everton win.
Yeah, right. Sheffield United gave Man City a good game at Bramall Lane on Sunday. Only lost 2-1, and it did look like they were going to get a point at one. They'll battle hard and make it difficult. The atmosphere will be difficult. I think it'll be a close game. And I have Sheffield United to edge Everton 17-0.
Seriously, is that your scoreline?
No. I hope it is the scoreline, but no, it's not seriously. I think Sheffield United win. And as you say, I mean, Everton have played 3 games, 3 defeats, no goals. And I expect them to increase that to 4 games, 4 defeats, no goals, with a 2-0 Sheffield United win.
Yeah. Matt says 3-0 to Sheffield United. Coffee says West Ham will blow Luton away like them bubbles. 8-0 to West Ham and 4-0 to Sheffield United. I can't see West Ham winning 8-0 to Coffee, but I like your optimism, mate. I really do. Right. The next game, 3 p.m. kickoff, and this comes back to you, Roly. And we are heading off to West London. And no, we ain't going to Chelsea. We are going to one of their neighbours, and that is Brentford. Brentford against Bournemouth at the G-Tech Community Stadium.
Awesome.
Brentford have a very good record there. What is your thoughts on this game?
I think this will be a bit of a crackerjack of a game because I think Bournemouth have actually played well. They got Liverpooled when they're at Anfield with that penalty that should never have been given.
Yeah.
It's turned the game. Like Philip Billing, Solanke's finding the net. It'll be a tough one, but I think that Brentford will have enough to win the game. I think they win 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
So you're going 2-1 Brentford. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting, that one. That Archer's a good player for Sheffield United. Yeah, Cameron Archer, who's moved there from Villa. Yeah, he is a good player, isn't he? Bias says Everton are definitely the Paul Gallant of the Premier League. Lawrence says going for Brentford for this one. Yeah, Brentford 3, Bournemouth 2. Says Ronald 2-0. Says Ian 0-0. Says Coffee. Wow, no goals. 3-1 to Brentford, says Chris. Alan says Everton have just signed Italian club 27 million. They may score now. Well, Beto, yeah, but his scoring record is not very good, Alan. That is the thing. Last season he was expected to get 10 goals and he got the 10 goals, but I mean, it's just pretty poor. 2-1 Sheffield United, says Lee. Yeah. Brentford to win 3-0, says Bia. Chelsea are losing, says Daniela. Yeah, absolutely, Daniela. Daniela, get your prediction, and we did your team first, Luton versus West Ham on Friday. How do you see that game going? I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Roly's gone for a win. What's your scoreline there, Daniela? 3-1 to Brentford, says Matt, and Brentford 2-1, says Lee as well. I mean, Brentford-Bournemouth, yes, it's going to be a tough game at the G-Tech because we know they didn't lose many games there last season. You know, and the Blue Man United away there last season, if we all remember. I think Bournemouth will go there and have a go, but I think Wissa and Mbeumo, who are playing so well at the moment up front in the absence of Ivan Toney, I think they're both doing well. I can't see anything other than a Brentford win, I'm afraid, here. So for me, I'm going to see a Brentford win this 3-0. I can see Brentford keeping a clean sheet. That is my thoughts on this game anyway. So yeah, so I'm going to say 3-0 to Brentford. So that's my thoughts on that game. Bia says Monaco signed Balogun. What a waste. Do you know what? I would have had him at Newcastle, absolutely. Chelsea losing, that's why the game's not televised, says Coffee. Daniel says they will win 3-1 West Ham. Yeah. Mag Debate says I've got a quid on 2-1 for Wimbledon, lol. Hey, it's not a bad shout, that, you know. Not a bad shout at all. So let's get into the next game. So bounces back to me, and we're heading off to the northwest now, and we're heading off to Lancashire, and we're heading off to a little place called Turf Moor in Burnley as they take on Tottenham Hotspur, who under Anger have been doing all right in the Premier League. Lost to Fulham on penalties last night. Considering he wants to go far in the Carabao Cup, well, he went as far as the second round and he is gone. So for Postecoglou to see he wanted to go on and win the Carabao Cup, he ain't got a chance now because you've gone in the second round. Burnley Spurs, I think. Do you know what? I'm surprised because Burnley have not done anything yet. And I actually tipped Burnley to finish in the top 8, to finish 8th place. I'm starting to regret maybe that now, but I just thought under Company they would have, but they have had a tough start, let's be honest. I think Spurs will be very tough for them as well. But I still fancy Burnley might just sneak that first win out of this game. But it's only going to be by the odd goal. And I think there'll be goals in this game. So I'm going to say 3-2 to Burnley. That's my prediction, 3-2. And I'll go to the comments and I'll come back and get Roly's thoughts on this as well. Because, yeah. Right. Alan says 2-0 Brentford. Jody says, hi guys, what's up? Hi Jody, hope you're well, my friend. We're predicting scores, mate, for the weekend's games. 3-2 to Spurs, says Coffee. Chris says 2-1 Spurs. Lawrence says Spurs to win this one. Ronald says 2-2. Georgie says 8-2 Spurs. Wow. Burnley 3, Spurs 1. Imposter Coglu could be exposed, says Bia. Burnley 2, Spurs 1, says Lee. 2-0 Spud, says Alan. 2-2 Burnley Spurs, says Daniela. And 3-2, says Ian, to Tottenham Hotspur. Roly, what's your thoughts?
I think Burnley is still acclimatising to the Premier League. When you come up, there's always a bit of a shock to the system because the game is way quicker, more physical, and you have to acclimatise. I don't think Burnley are there yet. Spurs, though they won comfortably by the scoreline, Bournemouth were in the game, but Spurs did score 2 really good work goals. I think Burnley is going to find it really tough. They'll battle, but I think Spurs will edge it 2-1.
Yeah. Not a bad shout. Yeah, not a bad shout at all. Ian thinks 3-2 to Spurs, but yeah, that's not a bad shout, Roly. Right, so the next game is a 3 p.m. kickoff as well on Saturday afternoon, and we're heading back to West London again, and we've already visited Brentford. We're now going to the bridge. That is Stamford Bridge, and it's where Chelsea will be taking on Nottingham Forest. Roly, what's your thoughts?
This is going to be an interesting game because Chelsea have not been convincing at all this season. Obviously, they got a good win at the weekend, but I think they're still trying to figure out who they are and what they're going to be. I mean, Jackson up front looks to have everything apart from the goals at the moment.
Yeah.
I've been impressed with Forest so far this season. They've had some tough games against Arsenal and against Man United. They were very unlucky against Man United because that penalty was atrocious.
Yeah.
I think they'll get something at the bridge. I'm going 1-1.
Like they did last season, got a draw, yeah. That's not a bad shout. I'll just jump into some comments before I come to me. Mason says 1-1 at the bridge. Going for a narrow Chelsea win, says Lawrence. 2-1 Chelsea, says Chris. BS says 2-1 Forest. 3-1 Chelsea, says Ian. Coffee says 2-all. Ronald reckons Chelsea will win 2-1. Lee says 3-2 Forest. Daniela says 3-2 Chelsea, probably through gritted teeth as well. And Alan says 2-1 Chelsea as well. I mean, look, I think last season, Forest went down there and got a draw. I think the same could happen again. I think it could be a draw game. But then if Forest use a performance against Man United, they could beat Chelsea. And that is the thing. That's the key thing. They could. I'm going for a narrow victory here for Nottingham Forest. I'm going to see Forest go down there, nick it 2-1.
That's a bold prediction.
That is a bold prediction, but I think look, Forest have done all right this season. They've played all right, so I think they can go there and nick it. Yeah, I do. I really do. So I'm going to say 2-1 Forest. Daniela says Chelsea have pulled it back. It's now 1-1 against Wimbledon. Right, so we're back to you now, Roly, aren't we? Yeah. No, me.
That's you.
Right, okay. So, the final game of the 3 p.m.s on Saturday, we're visiting east of Manchester. Yes, we're going east Manchester, and it's towards that stadium that used to be the Commonwealth Stadium that was given to the club. And it is Manchester City versus Fulham at the Etihad, as it is called these days. Right, what am I going to say about this game? Fulham to win this 5-0? No, I'm only joking, by the way. Anyway, I think this is going to be a tough day at the office for Fulham. We went there, we lost 1-0. But how many teams are going to play like we did against Man City? And that's the thing. For me, there's one winner in this game, and that's Man City all day. Manchester City will win this game. If Holland's got his shooting boots on, Julian Alvarez looks a class act. Phil Foden doing the De Bruyne role, Grealish, Kyle Walker, even though he's on his 30s, the pace he's still got for a guy of his age, I mean, it's just absolutely immense. I'm going to say 4-0 City. If Holland's on fire, he gets a hat-trick and City win 4-0. There you go. That's my prediction. Before I come to Roly, I'll just go into some here. Coffee said someone said Chris Wood looked like Ent the Tree, humanoids from Lord of the Rings. Mason says 1-0 PSV against Rangers. Well, Ian will be happy about that then. City will win 3-0, says Alan. Coffee says 4-0 City. BS says 4-0 City. Siding with me. Ronald reckons 3-0 City. Comfortable win, says Chris, for City 3-0. Man City should win this, says Lawrence, absolutely. Ian says 3-0 City. Lee says 5-1 City. And Rangers won. PSV won. Rangers 0. And Ian's revelling in that now because PSV are winning that game as well. Bobby Robson's old club, isn't it? So, yeah. I'm sure the big man's looking down thinking, come on, Eindhoven, you can do this. Roly, give me your thoughts on Man City versus Fulham.
It's hard to see past Man City, to be honest. It all depends on what sort of fight Fulham have in them. And that Man City side is looking so good at the moment. I'm going for a 2-0 win to Man City.
Yeah. Matt says 3-0 Man City as well. So, yeah. Right. Okay, Roly. So, we come to the last game of the Saturday, and it is a 5:30 tea time kickoff. And this time we're going to head down to the coast. Yes, the south coast it is. And the south coast, where the Seagulls are safe because it's Newcastle United who are visiting and not Sunderland. So, Roly, Brighton versus Newcastle United at the Amex. We haven't got a great record there. Take it away. Tell us what you think.
Oh, this is an interesting one. I want to say a Newcastle win, but obviously we haven't had the best of results in the last 2 games. One was more our fault than anything else. The other one was against the best team in Europe. I think the other thing that's quite interesting is that Brighton have just come off a heavy defeat to West Ham. So they're going to be wanting to come back from that. Obviously, we're going to be missing Botman. So it's going to be interesting to see how Eddie juggles the defence. I'm thinking that we'll have well, Dan Burnham, left-sided centre-half, and will probably be Matt Target at left-back. We need to apply our press like we did when they came up to St James's Park. My heart says 2-1 to the Toon, but I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh, you're erring on the side of caution, Roly.
Yeah, because when I've been bowled, it's backfired on me.
Right, let's see what the viewers think. See if they agree with you, Roly. Well, Bia's gone straight in 4-1 Newcastle. Lawrence says, bit nervous for this game. We'll probably go for a draw. Ian reckons 2s each. 3-2 to Newcastle, says Coffee. 3-1 the Toon, says Ronald. Chris says 2-1 Newcastle. Lee says 3-1 win for us. 2-2 draw with Brighton, says Daniela. Foxy reckons Brighton 2-1 if Botman's out as expected. I'll be happy with a point. Interesting, Foxy. I think we'll bounce back after we lost last weekend, so 2-1, says Alan. 3-2, says Matt. Lawrence says, I'll take a point given our record at the Amex. More confident about our game after the international break, which is Brentford at home. Yeah. I mean, before I go to it, obviously Foxy's in the chat. Foxy, do you know much about this Beto who signed for Everton, this Portuguese striker? Do you know much about him? I've looked at his record. He doesn't seem that great of a goal scorer. I don't think he's worth 30 million. Foxy will tell us what he thinks of him. It would be okay with the point, says Alan. Right, okay. So, what do I think about this game? Well, look, we've not had the best of times down at the Amex. We've had some heavy defeats there, like 3-0s. You know, I think the last time we won at the Amex would have been back in the Championship with Mo Diarmi's fluky goal when it came off his foot and looped in. But, yeah, and Jose Perez scored that night as well. But I think, and because also in that game they got a dodgy penalty which Glenn Murray scored. But I think it's about time we turned the tide, because last season we drew 1-1 there under the watchful eye of Eddie Howe when Graham Jones was in charge. Not last year, the year before, sorry. Last season we drew there 1-1, didn't we? So 0-0, sorry, last season. So what? Last season we owed it to Nick Pope because he pulled off a cracking save against Pascal Gross, which we could have lost that game. We were denied a goal, but that was because the referee, Graham Scott, was too whistle happy and blew his whistle before the shot went in the back of the net. Had he waited, then VAR would have ruled it to be a legitimate goal, which maybe would have said we won that game. So we ended up with a 0-0 last season. Would you win there? Would you win? I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say we go down there and win 2-1. We hammered them at St James's Park last season 4-1. We beat them just recently in America. So I think we can go there and win 2-1. So I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle. I'm going to say Isak and Gordon on the score sheet. There you go. Apparently Tony Batista's named Paul. First name is Paul. Oh, Beto, you mean? Poor Beto. Coffee says, we beat Brighton in pre-season, playing a second string team and youth team. Absolutely, Coffee. Well said, mate. Well said. Right, okay. So we now turn our attentions to Sunday. And first games on Sunday is, I'll take this one, and it's at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Now it's Woy against Gary O'Neill. How do I see this one happening? Well, Wolves come off the back of a nice 1-0 win against Everton. They should have had a point against Man United. They were robbed in that game, well and truly. They were totally steamrolled by Brighton. They looked an absolute awful team that day. Matheus Nunes went on strike. He's now getting the move. Say again, player power is winning the day again. Let's go on strike, and eventually it'll happen. And that's exactly what he's done. But Palace, they haven't had a bad start to the season. I tipped Wolves to be struggling this season. I really did. And I think they will struggle. So I don't think they'll beat Palace. Palace at Selhurst Park are a pretty decent outfit. I'm going to say 2-0 Palace with goals from maybe Edouard and Jean-Philippe Mateta. There we go. So there you go. That's my prediction. 2-0 Palace, I think, for this one. Before I come to Roly, let's see what people are saying in the comments. By the way, Ronald says Doncaster are beating Everton now, 1-0.
Oh, it's ahead of me, but
good old Doncaster. It's a shame. It's a shame our ex-player isn't playing there no more, because it would be nice to see him get the goal, wouldn't it?
I mean, Coppinger.
James Coppinger,
Yeah, he's in his late 30s now, isn't he? Oh, it's a good goal as well. Header.
Chris says Palace 1-0 or 1-1. 1-1 says Beer. 3-1 to Palace says Ronald. 2-1 to Palace says Lee. Hard one to call says Lawrence, but probably go for a narrow Palace win. 1-0 Palace. Alan reckons 1-1. Foxy says for Everton's level, Beto is a decent signing, more reliable than DCL. Scored back-to-back double figures in Serie A for an average Udinese team. Gives Everton a better chance of staying up. Don't say staying up, Foxy. Jesus, no. We don't want them to stay up, Foxy. We want them to go down. I hope they stay on this winless run till October, till I have that FFP here, and then they get docked points, so they'll be on minus, and then they'll have to basically try and win every game to stay up. Mason says it's 1-0 to Donny at the Keep Moat. Is it at the Keep Moat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt says 3-0 Palace. Daniela says 0-all. Lawrence says Owen Bailey starting for Doncaster, if you remember him. Yes, his name does ring a bell, yes. It was Joe Ironside, the ex-Cambridge player who scored against us. Wow, he's playing there. That's unbelievable, isn't it? So he's at Doncaster. Yeah, and Joe Ironside is... who is Joe Ironside's hero? Alan Shearer. There we go. So he was probably pleased as punch when he scored against us at St James's Park. I think that's why he done the Shearer salute as well. Lawrence says Dyche to walk when Everton get docked for FFP, and then Bruce to replace him.
Just talking about Everton, they are 1-0 down, but the guy who scored the goal was well offside.
Roly, what's your thoughts on this game, Palace Wolves?
I think the result will be closer than the game, because Palace aren't full of goals.
Yeah.
I think that Wolves, they've lost this Nunes guy because they've verbally agreed to deal with Man City.
Yeah.
They've gone backwards because they haven't hardly bought anybody. I believe they'll struggle this season, though. They were unlucky against Man United. Got a good win against Everton, but to be honest, Everton had a lot more chances.
Yeah.
But Sarr did play well in goal. So they were, in some respects, lucky.
Yeah.
But I just can't see Palace scoring a shed load of goals. I think that Palace will dominate the game and end up winning 1-0.
Right, okay, good. Yeah, I think majority of us seeing a Palace win. Foxy says, still think Everton will go down, though. He says, but Beto signing gives them a slight chance, lol. Yeah, but he's got to get it in the Premier League. That's a different ball game to Serie A. So, right, okay. So we're going back to Roly now. And, well, we're off to a familiar place to Roly. And obviously, we're going to the Northwest. And we're pinpointing, we're narrowing it down. We're going into Liverpool and we're going Anfield. So, Roly, Liverpool versus Aston Villa.
That game, you've got two very good sides pitted against each other. Villa have hit a bit of form. I think after the game on Sunday, Liverpool were a cat that only had one life left.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they lose that they don't lose that life, and that it's a really, really close game, and Villa will nick it 22-0. Oh, I just want them to lose. I really want them to lose. I don't care what the score is. I want them to lose.
Yeah.
They've just been so lucky. They were lucky to get a point against Chelsea because Chelsea can't finish. They were lucky against Bournemouth because that dodgy penalty changed the game.
Yeah.
And they're beyond lucky against us. So it's got to run out sooner or later. And why not?
Luck runs out eventually.
Why not against Villa? I think Diaby's settling in. They've got a good side. I'm gonna be bold here. I say Villa win.
Yeah.
Not 22-0, but 2-0.
Right, okay. Ian reckons 2-0 Liverpool. Ronald says 2-1 Villa. Foxy says 2-1 Villa. Bias says 3-1 Villa. Lawrence says Liverpool to win this one. Cracking one, but a hard clash. 2-2 says Chris. Daniela says 2-1 VD. Red card comes into play. Villa 2-1 says Lee. No VVD. Alan says 2-1 Liverpool as well. Coffee says 3-1 Palace and 5-2 to Villa. This game, I think it's going to be a difficult game for both. But I just want to see Liverpool get beat. So, all in all, I'm going to see Villa win this 1-0. Because it looks like the Mo Salah rumours are starting to circulate even more now because they're saying he really, really wants to go, apparently. So, who knows? Watch the space. Matt says 2-2. So, yeah, that's not bad.
The thing about Salah is that though our window closes in a couple of days, they've still got more time in Saudi.
Yeah.
And if they give Liverpool enough money, they'll say yeah.
Yeah.
We won't be able to replace it, but they'll say yeah.
Yeah. So the final game of this day, the weekend, on the Sunday, is a visit to North London. And it's to that stadium called the Emirates. And it's Arsenal versus Manchester United. Right. So then, how will Ten Slag get on there? I think Arsenal will dominate this game. Man U don't look great, in all honesty. I've got a Man U fan at work, and he said he would have liked Man U to all go out and get Kane, but he's now banged them in for Bayern Munich. He's already made himself a hero there, Bayern. I can see Arsenal winning this game, and I think it'll be comfortable as well. I think Arsenal win this 3-1. I really do. I can see that happening. Let's go to the comments before I get Rory's thoughts. Matt says 2-2 with the Liverpool game. Daniela says, how the hell is some fan site for Trent as one of the best fullbacks in the league? Please, he's clueless as a fullback. It's going to be Liverpool fans, Daniel, I'm afraid. 3-1 the Gunner, says Ian. Arsenal to win this. 3-2, says Chris, to Arsenal. Ronald says Ars 3, Man U 1. 2-0 Arsenal, says Matt. 8-2, says Coffee for Arsenal. Daniela says 7-0 Arsenal, hopefully. 2-2 Arsenal, also below par, says Alan. Highland reportedly ready to start for Man United, says I like Coffee. Okay, ready to start a game for them. Right, Roly, your thoughts on this game?
I think this is going to be a game where another team's luck is going to run out. That's going to be Man United and Tent Bag. I mean, they were woeful against Forest to start off with. If they do that against Arsenal, it could be a cricket score. But I don't think that it is going to be a cricket score. But I do think Arsenal will win quite comfortably. And I think it'll be a 3-0 win to Arsenal.
3-0?
Yeah. Could be more.
Lee reckons 3-1 Arsenal as well. Yeah, so it could be. I mean, that's not a bad shout at all, is it? So, yeah, we'll keep our eye on that one. Right. Before we go on to anything else, breaking news. Yeah, breaking news. There we go. Breaking news. And the breaking news is, we've all heard it today, I'm sure. Or I'm sure people have heard it. And yes, it involves this man. There we go. Steve Bruce, Cabbage Heat. Now then, Cabbage Heat's been talking, I think, to Sky. And he said there's only so many holidays he can take. And now he's chomping at the bit to get back into management. Oh my God, is he joking or what? So Cabbage Head could be making a return to management. Jesus, please, no. Whoever takes this man on must be absolute fucking nuts to take him on. I'm sorry, Roly, it must be. I mean, do you like the picture, Roly?
Yeah, I mean, the thing, from what you've said, whoever takes him on must be absolutely mad. It sounds like he's being lined up as the replacement for Dyche at Everton.
Yeah.
Because they're mad enough to do
it. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it?
It's like, well, the Everton job could be coming up soon. I need to position myself for that.
That's probably why he's come out and said that. Foxy says, I can't blame Salah. I'll just leave that picture on for a minute because I know it humours a lot of people. Can't blame Salah. Look at Neymar. Al Hilal accepted his demands, absolutely. Daniela says, Highland might be ready, but is it the right game as your first game? Yeah, absolutely. 4-0 Arsenal, says Bia. Mike Dean's mate is referee for the Arsenal game. Foxy says Neymar demanded a house with 25 rooms, swimming pool, Bentley, Aston Martin, Lambo, 24-hour driver, hotel and restaurant bills paid by the club, private plane, 500k, social media post, 100 million year salary. My God, unbelievable. A Foxy in it. Absolutely ridiculous. Bruce replacing Ten Hag, says Coffee. Mighty Mag says, I love the pick. BS said, he said he could be brought in to help young managers. Yeah, help them choose which way to take away to use. Yeah, absolutely. Ronald says Cabbage Heat for Everton. Yeah. Steve Bruce and Steve McLaren says Coffee. Lawrence says knew he was lying when he suggested he wouldn't take another job because of the way he was treated in this sob story after we sacked him. Absolutely. I wouldn't trust him to even be a Berwick Ranger, says Ian. There we go. Alan says, Bruce to the conference if he wanted to return. Neymar sounds like my missus, says Bia. Whoever Bruce gets, Bruce will suffer emotional cabbage. I mean, absolutely, Coffee. I mean, look, you know,
Maybe he should go to Sunderland then again.
this man. I mean, look, I think this man's been advising Rubiales in Spain, saying, "Look, don't quit, hang on, because you'll get a good compensation deal, and you can get plenty more kebabs out of that, and Greg's sausage rolls and Greg's pasties." So, although there are other outlets out there where you can buy sausage rolls and bakery stuff as well. Jack says, "Evening, Tony and Roly. Evening, Jack. If you're wondering why Cabbage Cheats on the screen there, mate, it's because he's announced today that he's chomping at the bit to get back into management, Jack. What's your thoughts on Cabbage Heat, Jack? Give us a shout." BR says, if he gets a job, he may come in for Hendrick. Yes, please, take him. But yeah, Ronald says, Steve Bruce is a demented cabbage. Yeah, let's get his ugly mug off there. That's it. That's better now. That's I don't want to scare the kids too much, you know. I mean, I suppose you could put that picture on your window, stop the burglars getting in, wouldn't it? But yeah, so what's your thoughts, Roly? Steve Bruce wanting to make a return to management?
It's hardly surprising. It does like a payoff, does our Steve Cabbage. I just hope that if he gets another job, it'll be somewhere like Everton or Sunderland, just to take him down.
Coffee says ESM is tearing it up in the Saudi League. He's a superstar there. Jack says, "Oh God, he should start his own team with Hendrick as assistant manager." But yeah, it's not great to see Steve Bruce back, is it? In the wanting to come back to management. Anyway, let's move on from Steve Bruce. Now then, I've seen some people say, "Are we done in the transfer window?" What I would say is, I don't think we are done in the transfer window, because it would not surprise me if somebody else comes through that door. Remember, transfer window shuts Friday night at 11 p.m. But even so, even if you do sign somebody and it's prior to that 11 p.m. deadline that's not announced, it can be announced later on in the night, as long as that fax has been sent through the Premier League by 11 o'clock. If the fax machine says 1 minute past 11, then obviously that deal can't go ahead. So I would say we are still active somewhere. And Nico Williams has keep getting mentioned. So could there be something there? Who knows?
Do people still use faxes these days?
That's apparently what they say. The fax machine at the yeah. Because obviously they've got to put the contracts through, haven't they?
We can send it by email.
Yeah. Well, apparently they have a fax machine still, so it's not one to wind up, by the way, though, Roly. Lee says, "Aha, Bruce management, load of crap." Alan says, "Aye, Mackham's good destination for Bruce. Forgot about them. They're just irrelevant nowadays. The Mackhams are, yeah." Adidas logo being painted at Strawberry Place, says Coffee. Lovely. BS says, "Buy in 50 million offer for João Palhinha. He's a good player, João Palhinha. I like him." They got a bargain for him, didn't they, Fulham? But yeah, I mean, look, I can seriously see somebody else coming in before the window shuts, and it wouldn't surprise me, as I say, it may come unannounced that there may be a player that we've not been linked to, and you may go, "Wow, were we really in for him?" I've got a feeling we'll still sign the centre half. I really have. But rule nothing out in the transfer window. Once that door slams shut at 11 p.m. and nothing's been done, then you can say our business is finished. But until then, I wouldn't say nothing. I would say expect the unexpected, because you never know. The unexpected could happen, and we could have a player. Who knows? Nobody knows what what the actual transfer budget is that we have literally got to spend. Nobody knows how much money we've got to spend. Now that Fraser's off the books, although we're probably paying a little bit of his wages, but not all of it, that sort of frees up a little bit. Shame about Isaac Hayden feeling his medical. But again, we need to be getting rid of these players. You know. So, yeah, I mean, your thoughts, Roly? I honestly think somebody could come in that window before it shuts at 11.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if no one comes in. And there again, I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes in.
Yeah.
You never know. But just seeing on Football Insider, I don't know how true it is, they're saying that Leeds United, Sheffield Wednesday and West Brom are interested in signing Jeff Hendrick. Doesn't say whether it's permanent or loan. I just hope it's true.
Oh, please take him. Please.
Even if it's on loan, but better permanent.
Yeah. Just looking at the Chelsea team, they are actually playing some decent players, though. They've got Sanchez in goal. They've got Sassy playing. Cucurella, Colville, Conor Gallagher's the captain. Madueke, I like him. Madueke, I think he's a good player. They've got Jackson's on now, Nicholas Jackson. They've got Caicedo on the bench, Silva on the bench, Thiago Silva, Chilwell's on the bench. So it's not a bad team, to be fair. That's out there. Forest and Burnley are still 0-0. Doncaster are still 1-0 up. Good old Donny there.
Yeah, but Beto's come on at half time.
Has he? Well, this is the stats so far. 45% possession for Doncaster, 55% for Everton. Doncaster have had a total of 9 shots, 3 on target, 3 off target. Everton have had 2 shots at goal, 1 on target, 1 off target. Passing, Everton's had 232 passes compared to 174 from Doncaster. Doncaster's had 3 corners to Everton's 1. And Everton saved 2 shots compared to Donny saving 1. I don't know who's in goal for Everton. Oh, it's T-Rex. So Beto's come on, eh? But yeah, it'd be funny if Doncaster win this one, won't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Well, it's not called the Keep Moat now, it's called the Eco Power Stadium. That's the thing with these stadiums, they keep bloody changing the names and you just think, what is a stadium's called? I see Blackburn are winning 5-0 as well against Harrogate Town.
Yeah, the thing about Doncaster is that their previous owner got jailed because he burnt down the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose that's one thing that our former owner didn't do. He didn't actually burn down the ground.
No. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But certainly the end of the window is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how many deals are done on deadline day as well. So
yeah.
Cole Palmer's obviously on his way from Man City to Chelsea for 45 million quid.
How many players are Chelsea going to buy?
Well, that's the thing. See, this is what I'm saying. If we want to buy a right-sided centre-back, why don't we go to Man City and buy Harwood Bellis? He's only got a year left on his deal.
Is he right-sided, is it? Yeah.
Right-sided as well.
I don't know is the answer. It may be that they're looking for someone, a different profile. Maybe they may have looked and Man City want too much for him.
They shouldn't do. He's only got a year on his deal.
Well, we don't say we don't know what's going on. They may not may just not want him.
Or go to Torino and get Purchase, who's played alongside Botman as well. 23-year-old centre back. Right-sided centre back.
But they'll have their reasons. Maybe they're waiting for the summer.
Maybe. Yeah, definitely. Right, guys and girls, we're coming to the end of the show, unfortunately, but I will be back at 10 o'clock tonight with the Carabao Cup draw. So if you're up at that earthly hour to watch, do come back on, and it should be a great little time that we have. I'm not sure what the time the actual draw will take place, because the last time it was supposed to take place about 10:15. I think it ended up being closer to 10:30 because we're too busy talking about Man City and all that. I think that's when Man City got beat off Southampton. So yeah, there was too much talk about that. But yeah, as I say, we are getting ready to go. Sorry, it's been a shorter show tonight. But if you have enjoyed what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and join this great community by smashing the subscribe and the bell notification. Tells you when I'm live. Have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. Roly, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pol67.
Thank you very much. If you haven't yet followed Roly, please follow him.
Follow you back.
And he should follow you back.
We'll follow you back eventually.
It may take 2 or 3 days, or he may get a yellow card like Jack gave me a yellow card. You can find me on all the usual Twitter and all that. Just one thing to say is tonight again, I was on Unite Radio in Stevenage on Jamie's show, on his Premier League show. So if you want to check that out, it's called Unite Radio. Or if you go online, it's Jamie McCready, and you'll find him online. Really nice guy. Young lad, I say guy, he's only a young lad, he's only 14, but he's doing well, he's in radio and everything, so he's absolutely fantastic. He's going to have me on during the season as well, so, I'll be on there a few more times yet. But yeah, other than that, it's been a great show tonight, guys. Everybody's had their input on the scores and everything, which has been absolutely brilliant as always. It's great fun in the chat to have these scores. Whether we get them right or wrong, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But, and obviously we'll leave you with that image. We saw that tonight, that he is wanting to make a return to football. Cabbage Heat, absolutely. So there we go. But like I say, I will be back at 10 o'clock with the show for the Carabao Cup Carabao Cup third round draw. So do join me for that, and let's see who we get in the next round. Anybody but a Premier League team, I would say, would be probably a decent shout anyway. But we'll find out. Until then, remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. Right. So some reason that StreamYard is not showing the comments. For some reason, they haven't been coming through. So I'm just nipping onto the YouTube. And see what the comments are saying here, because for some reason StreamYard just seems to not want to put the comments in. Chelsea have signed Cole Palmer. Foxy says we need to target a centre-back on loan. Wouldn't mind young English centre-backs like Harwood Bellis on loan from City, or even Branthwaite from Everton. He impressed at PSV last season. Lawrence says if he is a loan, then he's out of contract next summer. Yeah, absolutely. By Tony Roly Knowles says coffee, goodbye to you, coffee. Alan says would City sell to us? Yeah, they would, Alan. Yeah. 10:30 is when Sky's YouTube stream, says Lawrence. Okay. Lisa, spot on show tonight. Tony Roly, everyone, big thumbs up. Thank you very much. But be prepared to get frustrated during the build-up for tomorrow's draw. Yeah, because it's drawn out, isn't it? Ian says, great show, guys. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much, Ian. Okay. Do you think Byrne will replace Botman at the weekend? Target and switch to Livramento. Alan, I think Byrne will replace Botman, and I think, do you know what? It could be a toss-up between Livramento and Target, but I think Target might just get that slot. Great show, Tony and Roly says, Matt, thank you very much. Jack says, why do everything say mergers when they're going to end some careers? 2-0 PSV. Ian's happy about that as well. Take care, Tony and Roly says, Jack, you too, mate. Thank you very much indeed. So until then, I'll see you shortly, but it's bye-bye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
How are you, the lads?